Hello everybody, welcome back to DIY Sewing with Simplyola and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Olight and today I'll be showing you how to draft a basic body pattern that you can use to sew all your lovely outfits without wasting any much of your time. Let's get into it. Here I'm just showing you what you need to draft the pattern. You need your paper, scissors, ruler, tape rule, and you need your measurements. Here I'm measuring from the top to the bottom, which is from the shoulder to the hip line. This might differ depending on your height. I'm working with 25 inches, so I started from my shoulder. I measured 10 inches and I went ahead to measure another 6 inches and another 8 to 9 inches, which later represents my bust line, waist line and hip line. And I went ahead to roll it out here. Here I'm using pen or pencil. It's always good to use pen or pencil just in case if you make a mistake, so you can easily erase it and amend it. There I'm measuring the neck, which is 3 by 4. This is just like a normal standard. You can make it wider or smaller. And I went ahead to measure the shoulder length, which is 5. So there I have 3 by 4 for neck and 5 for shoulder. Then I came down by 1 inch just to get that shoulder slope. Just went ahead to roll everything out with my pattern master. You can use your ruler or anything that is convenient for you for this. And from that shoulder slope I measure 10 to get my bust line, and I went ahead to mark my waist line. And then I'm just putting a mark, to get your waist and bust and hip line. You have to divide your bust by 4 for the bust line, and for the waistline you have to divide it by 4 as well. Then you will add another 1 inch to it for the dart allowance. Then for the hip line you do the same thing. You measure your hip round and you divide it by 4. And just make sure you trace it out on the paper. After doing that, I went ahead to just trying to give a bit of curve to that middle line there. That is my waistline. From there I'm just measuring my waistline after measuring my upper bust line, after measuring my armhole. And for me to get the midpoints, I went ahead to divide the armhole by 2, and I came in by 1 inch and half an inch. I came in by half an inch. And I went ahead to roll it out with my pattern master, and I did the same thing for the back. I just measure it straight, like start, and I just curve it down. And then I did measure my bust to bust to get my apex. What you do there is you measure your nipple to nipple and you divide it by 2. And I came down by 1 inch from my bust line, and I measure it down. I did the same thing for waist and hip line. I just trying to find the middle. Mine is 4.5, so I added another half an inch to it, making 5. So I find 5 inches on all the lines, like my bust line, my waistline and hip line. Then I came down by half an inch and I tried to connect it together. And at the waistline, I measure another 1 inch, which we added before. So I roll it out and I connect everything together. And for the side dart, I measure between the bust line to the waistline and I divided it by 2. Then I find the midpoint and I came in by half an inch on both sides and came down from the midpoint by 1 inch. Then I connected everything together. And I went ahead to do my back neck, which is 1 inches by 3 inches. So I came down by 1 inches and I connected to the front neckline, which is 3 inches, and I just roll it out. Then I'm just using the tracing wheel to trace everything down for the back darts. Then I'm just trying to get that curve shape for the hip line. Then after that, I went ahead to cut the neck of the back out and I cut the paper into 2, and I'm just trying to, trace it out for clarity's sake. And I went ahead to put all the line. I use the tracing wheel so I can easily see everything. You might not see it, but I can see it. So I'm just tracing everything. And for the back dart, I came up by 1 inch. Remember, for the front we came down by 1 inch, but for the back I actually went up. I went up by 1 inch. Sorry, I went up by 1 inch. So, and I look at the midpoint. Added half an inch to the both side, and I connected it together to get my back dart. You're just going to do the same thing you did for the front, except that I tried to, I went up to 1 inch. And that's the back ready. So there I'm just putting the necessary information, because this one is just a basic pattern, so I didn't put any sewing allowance, but I need to put the information there. So there I'm just adding 1 inch for zip allowance, and just remember that you have to fold the materials into 2. So it's always good to put those extra information there just in case. And that's the 2 pattern done. That's the front. I didn't cut the neck out because I just leave it there, just in case if I'm not using the round neck. That one is just to guide me, because you can use it to create any type of neck you like. Then I just went in to cut that that extra that I put in the armhole for the front. So I went in to cut it out because we don't need that. We don't need that for the front part. And that's everything done. I'm just putting the necessary information here, my bust, my waistline, just necessary information. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments, subscribe, and share with your families and friends. Bye for now. See you on my next video.